Welcome to the Successful Life Podcast. I am your host, Corey Barrier, and today, folks, we're going to be talking about something that, I'll be honest with you, it is the number one thing I help people with in the contractor space. So, let me just tell you, first, before we dive into all that, if you would like the show, share the show with somebody, and look, let me know if you like it. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you want to hear about. Also, go check out thetradschools.com. That's my construction coaching group. Go check it out. I'd love to have you in there. All right, so let's dive into it. So one of the biggest things that I see in just about every industry, but let's just stick with the contractor industry because that's where I live, right? So contractors are notorious for not following up. Why is that? Well, it's a couple of reasons. Out of sight, out of mind. Laziness, don't give a shit. You don't care, right? It doesn't matter. And here's the problem, is I know that you have a bunch of leads coming in. I get all that. And it feels like you shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to follow up, right? Because the leads keep coming in, like, who cares about that person, right? And if it's a small job, you really don't care about it. Here's the problem, dude. Those people need your help too, right? You can't just take the big jobs. We all just want the big jobs, right? We all just want the big jobs. But guess what? It doesn't always work that way. And sometimes, hey, newsflash, sometimes those jobs that you think are going to be so small turn into really big jobs if you know how to do it. And so, I'm not suggesting that you go and run up the bill on a customer. That's not at all what I'm saying. But it is super important for you to uncover all the problems while you're there so you can fix them. Even if you're there to fix a sink, make sure there's no other problems in the house. Do your whole house evaluation. And if you don't know what that is, you need to reach out to me because that in itself will help you so much. It's not even funny. So you got to follow up with people, 6 to 8 times. And I know that sounds crazy, but there's ways for you to implement in systems and processes that will help you with this follow-up process. And listen, when I say follow up 6 or 8 times, really, it needs to be like 8 to 12 times. But the truth of the matter is you're in a service-based industry, so the follow-up, if you're getting a lead from, Thumbtack or Home Advisor or wherever, then, those people may have already moved on. But that is my next point. Even if you call a lead, right? If you call one of your leads and you say, hey, I'm calling to fix your sink, they're like, well, John already called, he's coming to fix it. And what do you do as the contractor? You say, all right, lead lost, crappy lead, just another one down the toilet. They shouldn't have sent me that one, whatever the excuse is. Like, you'll come up with a million excuses why it didn't work out. And the truth of the matter is, you didn't call the lead on time. Let's just be honest. And if you're the business owner, your guys are doing this. You think they're not doing it, but they are. They're absolutely not calling their leads back. Or they may be calling them one time, or maybe twice at the most. Guys, listen. I know you're in high demand, and I get that. And you're going to be in more and more and more high demand because people are not coming in to the trades like they need to be. Younger folks are being told by their parents, go to college, like my generation, go to college, don't go to the trades. Guess what, Jack? People that went in the trades are making more money than the people who went to college. So, I don't know about you, but that math makes sense to me. So, the third thing that I'm going to tell you, and you probably want to write this down because I'm giving you the information that I get paid a lot of money for. But you want to make sure, like, listen, if somebody calls, like, if John, like I said before, if John already called, it doesn't matter. John may not show up. And so, if you don't call that lead back, somebody else is going to, right? Because then they farmed that lead out to like 10 people probably. So you're already fighting an uphill battle, and time is the only thing that's on your side, right? If you don't call that lead back immediately, you're not even gonna have a chance to follow up. But even if you call them and they say, hey, I went with somebody else, follow up with them anyway. All right, so the third thing I'm gonna tell you, and I said that a second ago, but that was really, I kind of went on the second one. But the third one is, you also wanna make sure that your customer never calls anybody else. How do you do that? Well, Mr. Customer, listen, I'm here to fix your roof today. We're all done. I appreciate you, your kindness. Appreciate you bringing us drinks, blah, 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 blah. How does the roof look? The roof looks good. Listen, John, different John. John, listen, I know you're pleased with the roof, and we're going to be in the neighborhood. We've got a couple more houses. Is there anybody else in the neighborhood that you've seen that may be affected by this storm and that maybe has roofing problems that you know, or maybe we could just go check it out to make sure? What? Just give me a couple of your neighbors' names and I'll take care of that. Also, John, while I'm here, I want to let you know that I have a full Rolodex of plumbers, HVAC people, solar people. If you ever need anything, John, I'm your guy. You don't need to Google. You don't need to pick up the phone book. You don't need to do any of that. I showed you my age when I said pick up the phone book. If you're younger, you don't even know what that means. But point is, like, you want to be the go-to guy. You want to be the guy that has all the answers, the guy that has all the contacts. You want to be the guy. If you're the guy with all the contacts and they can call you for anything, they're always going to call you for the thing that you did for them, right? And I know this seems like a lot more work, and it will be. But guess what? It's called building relationships with your customers so you can make more money and have a happier life. But you don't want to do that. You would rather just not follow up. And I get it, dude. I get it. Here, let me make sure you understand why I get it. Because you might be thinking, well, Corey, you don't even look like a trades guy. You're right, I'm not. You don't look like a roofer. You're right, I'm not. You don't look like a plumber. You're right, I'm not. I've never done any of those things. But I know how to sell them. And I know how you're screwing up the sale if you're not working with me. And I'm just being honest with you. Like, it may sound egotistical, but I'm giving you the facts of what it is, right? Follow up, and I don't care what industry you're in. You got to follow up, guys. It is so important. What do you think about, imagine if you say that to John. John, if you need anything else, you call me. Now imagine if John actually utilizes you, picks up the phone and calls, and he's like, hey, Corey, I know you said you knew a plumber. Is there any way I could get that guy's number? You know what, John? I'm going to do something. I'm going to do one better for you. I'm going to put you in a group text with the best plumber in Raleigh, North Carolina. And he's going to take care of you. And John, because he's my guy, and he knows you're my guy, you're going to get special treatment. So John, thanks for calling. By the way, how's that roof doing? Corey, it's doing great. No nails in the driveway. Nothing. Looks great. Excellent, John. Let me set that up for you. If you need anything else, just let me know. Now I've given the plumber business, and I've also got that plumber. He thinks I'm the man because I just sent him free business, right? And if I go do that with everybody that's outside of my, group of people, which I have somebody in every one of those areas, Contractor Plus is going to have that option too. I don't know if I should have said that, but it is going to have an option for referral. And it's cool, dude, because imagine, okay, so look, this is what I want you to think about. Imagine going to John's house and John saying, yeah, dude, I really appreciate you putting this roof on. I probably should have mentioned, I think I'm going to put solar panels on the house, but I don't know any solar guys. No problem, John. Let me look at my Rolodex, which is 17,000 contractors, and let me find somebody for you. Let me set it up for you so you don't have to do it, John. And that's going the extra mile. That should be one of your core values. You should go the extra mile for your customers. You want to make sure that they don't call anybody else for anything. You are the go-to person. And if you do this, your sales are going to go up. I promise you. I promise you, I've done this too many times. Listen to this episode again, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not telling you, you don't have to do anything. You really don't. But if you want to make more money, you do the things that I just said, because those things work. I have proven results. I can show you those proven results. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. You can keep losing money if you want to. That's completely up to you. And I mean, if you want to stay right where you are, stay right where you are. And I know this sounds like I'm giving you a lot of rough talk here, but the truth of the matter is you need to hear that. Because if your guys are not consistently following up, which is so key to the sales process, then you're leaving money on the table. And if you're leaving money on the table, you probably should check me out, because I can help you go to bed at night not thinking about that 20% that you're losing every single day that you don't work with me. Every single day, you're losing 20% by not working with me. Let that sink in, Mr. Business Owner. I know you're running a $10 million company, but guess what? You're probably leaving $200,000 on the table. How does that make you feel? I don't know about you, but it doesn't make me feel very good. 200 grand is a lot of money. I mean, the way I see it, to give that money to me and I can fix it for you. But here's the deal. I wouldn't charge you that much money. I just wouldn't do it. So, listen, I hope this was helpful. I hope that you got something out of this today. Listen, last thing I'm going to say, and this is completely off topic, but pay attention to how you think. Pay attention to your thoughts. I've been doing a lot of this recently. I've been doing a lot of really going in deep and thinking about, thinking about my thoughts, right? And how they affect my life and how your thoughts affect your life. Now, I've talked about this a million times. But if you have negative thoughts going into a call or going into a job, and you transfer that energy to the customer, you think you're going to close that deal? You think they're going to want to work with you? They're not. So you got to check that stuff at the door. I'm just being honest with you, dude, because I'm going through the same thing. The imposter syndrome is real, dude. If you look at, you probably, you're listening right now, you're probably thinking, well, Corey, you've got a #1 bestseller on Amazon, so what? You got a top-rated podcast, so what? You're a consultant for the trades, so what? Right? I spoke at Podfest, so what? All those things are cool. But, guess what? It doesn't really, it's cool, but it doesn't change me, right? It doesn't make me any different. It makes me better, right? But it doesn't make me any different than you, other than I just did something different than you have. It's like I've never climbed down a manhole with roaches, and you probably have. Or climbed up in an attic or in a basement that's got sinks in it. I've never done that. And personally, I prefer not to do that. Now, I've eliminated my fear of snakes, but at the end of the day, I don't want to be crawling around with them. That's for sure. And I don't know. Well, I think I'm going to end on that. And I just want you to think about that. Just think about how you think about life. Think about how you think about your job, how you think about your relationships, how you think about yourself. And I know this is a little bit off topic, but it's really important. You got to pay attention to how you think. You got to pay attention to the thoughts that you think, because you can't believe everything that you hear. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Go to thetradeschools.com. Check us out. Appreciate you. If you're watching this, thank you. If you're listening to it, I appreciate that too. You guys have a good day. We'll see you on the other side.